happening, weirdos? So glad you guys are here. This is Michael Rosenbaum, who is the host of the incredible podcast Inside of You, on which I was a guest. He's also had Keanu Reeves, J.K. Simmons. He's had some really, really heavy hitters. It's always fun. It's pop culture. It's interesting. It's introspective. And as you're about to hear, it's mostly because Michael, he's a really, really interesting, deep and wonderful and fun friend. He also, you may know him as Lex Luthor from the series Smallville. TV Guide included him on the list of the 60 nastiest villains of all time. And no, he did not ask me to say that. I just thought that was worth sharing up top. So check out Inside of You. Enjoy this conversation. Hope to see you guys at a show May the 4th. I'm here in LA for the Netflix is a Joke Fest. Coming to Chicago, coming to Houston, Pennsylvania. It's all on PeteHolmes.com. Hope to see you guys out there on the road. In the meantime, enjoy this chat. Get into it. That's for you. And also Magic Mine. Have you ever had Magic Mine? Drink that. Then
maybe I will.
Then you'll enjoy this. Yeah, but it's frozen.
Rosenbaum. That's what my friends used to call me.
Get on the mic. I'm mad at you. Get on the mic.
My friends used to call me Frozenbaum because.
How are you going to start with what's clearly a delightful, wonderful anecdote?
Well,
off mic.
Are we filming?
Yeah.
My mom used to cook frozen pizzas all the time for dinner. She was a terrible
so shouldn't
cook.
She have been Frozenbaum?
Well, my friends were always like Frozenbaum. Yeah, his mom makes frozen pizzas all the time for his meals.
Can I just say,
sort of embarrassing.
The 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Rough time.
It was a rough time.
It wasn't the 50s, but it was rough. I remember, I'm not proud of this. Oh, we didn't plug that in. Does that matter, Katie?
Yeah, actually, shit, let's do that.
What's not plugged
No, we're
in?
still talking. This is still the pod.
I don't. Am I behind you now? What are you doing?
I just remember that in the 90s, when I was in junior high, there was a kid. Oh, God, I hate this story.
Well, then don't tell it.
No, I just want to be on the record that I don't like it, that I'm going to tell it.
Oh, so okay, you're setting it up like you don't.
As long as you show remorse.
Well, I hope I do.
Well, that's what we could.
Brought to you by Magic Mind.
Say it to your camera.
Magic Mind.
Drink it. I'm humorlessly. Shake it real good. So anyway, what I was going to say was there was a friend of ours who, my school was in Cambridge, and do you want to know what's in it?
As long as there's no shellfish.
No shellfish.
I'll die if there's shellfish.
Really? Mm-hmm. Frozenbaum?
Frozenbaum. I don't know if I'd die, but it would not be good.
You'd puff up like a pufferfish.
Yeah.
Anyway, this kid lived in a condo. Who cares? But at the time, we just didn't know what that was. Most of the kids lived in, I guess, houses. That's not even true. But he lived in a condo. Now that I'm a grown man, I'm like, he lived in a dope-ass condo.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what
Wasn't
you
cool.
saw on TV.
Right.
On TV, you saw a little lawn and a house and a driveway. Now, as a grown man, I'm like, he was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in a nice building, got in the late 80s, probably got a steal, probably tripled in value. But as a kid, I was like, we used to joke that he lived in a cave. We were like, he lives in a cave. Meanwhile, some of those kids that were in on this horrible cave riff also lived in condos. It was just, they were just happy they weren't getting it.
Right. Are you sure they were condos?
Instead of apartments?
Yeah.
Yeah, I distinctly remember being like, this isn't quite, I don't know, how can you tell?
We used to call them
between
duplexes.
Yeah, there you go.
Where I grew up, it was like the Dozer twins lived in a duplex a couple blocks away, and they were just, it was like an apartment.
Doja Cat?
Dozer.
Oh.
They were Amy and Robin Dozer. They were these hot sisters. And somehow, don't ask me, I mean, we can get into it, but I made out with them. And it was the first time I had ever kissed a girl, but it was a humiliating story. But continue your Cambridge story.
Yeah, no, I will, because I know how to host a podcast. What happened? What?
So my friend Danny Cutter and I were outside. Old Danny. And, it's funny, to become friends with him, we had just moved in 1980, and I was sitting there depressed on my porch, and my dad was mowing the lawn, and he had one of these mowers that didn't have the bag attached, so just shit and rocks and stuff would fly into his face.
Fucking 80s,
I was
man.
like, get a grass catcher.
Dad, get a bag.
Get a bag.
Get a bag, Dad.
And he goes, what's wrong with you? And I go, I don't have any friends. And he's like, well, why don't you just knock on every door in the neighborhood and see if they have a kid your age who's 10 years old?
He wants you to go Jehovah's Witness?
That's exactly what I did. I knocked on every door. Hi, my name is Michael. I'm 10. Do you have a kid I could play with? No. Door closed, door closed, door closed. And then one door opened, and it was Mrs. Cutter. And she had great boobs. I remember that because...
She didn't know this little horn dog monster that she was letting into her life.
Well, no, I didn't think about her boobs then. But one day while I became friends with Danny, I walked by the bedroom, and she was putting on her bra. And I saw her boobs, and she was like, Michael. And then I never forgot those boobs. They were just slightly tanned.
The boobs themselves?
Very.
What, is she going to topless bars?
No, they weren't really
boob
tanned. She had a darker complexion.
Yeah.
And they were very pleasant and plump. And I've dreamt about those boobs for years. It's very true.
Well, can I say unexpected boobs?
Unexpected boobs. If you get a side breast when it's unexpected, that's enough to keep you going.
I was walking right down over here on Vermont, and there was a place that did burlesque. What's funny is you could go in. I don't think there was even a cover. I could go in and see boobs. That's what burlesque is.
It sort of is.
It's like, but it's kind of funny, so you feel like less skeezy. It's like, it's a joke.
It's fun.
It's a joke.
But in your mind, you're like,
It's like the guy in the 90s that was like, let's watch this porno. It's hilarious. Like that kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guys.
It's so funny.
Isn't that funny?
I still remember Tyler Mack was like, and then they start doing it, and the sound she makes is hilarious. And then he puts it on. I'm like,
I can't watch porn with other guys.
Me neither.
Never have. I remember one kid put porn on, and I was just like, fun, comfortable. I'm out.
Buddy,
I can't do that.
And he was just there, and she was making a weird sound, and I was just like, how is this what
Funny.
you wanted to do?
Yeah.
And it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's, to quote Dr. Gary Penn, my therapist, it's very erotic.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be here.
Yeah, a bunch of guys getting aroused together in a room isn't. It's not for me.
It's not for me.
Anyway, Danny.
Wait. There was something I was telling you.
Oh, about
We're not going to forget you and your boobs.
Well, wait,
Surprise
the
boobs.
burlesque show,
Yes.
surprise boobs. So when you saw
All I
the
want to
boob,
say is I could have gone in the front and seen the boobs, but instead I was walking by and I looked up to the second story, and that's where they were changing. These are women that get naked for their job, but I saw accidental boobs on the sidewalk boobs.
how fun are
I still
accidental
think
boobs?
about them.
See, it's when you're not supposed to see something. You're not supposed to see behind the curtain.
Can I actually, exactly, and can I bring a little neuroscience in this?
Yes, please.
Dopamine, the way it works is if you're expecting dopamine. Like if I say, Michael, do you want to go get an ice cream with me? You actually start releasing these predicting dopamine feelings, which actually kind of evens out the whole experience. I'm going to get ice cream. I'm going to get ice cream. Then you eat it, and it's like, I knew I was going to get ice cream. And it's not as much of a thrill. Right. Surprise boobs is the way dopamine works at its best is when it's a surprise. So you do a show or you do a scene and you thought it was going to be bad and it was great. Then you get a huge hit. That's surprise boobs.
Yeah, same thing. It's like if you're doing stand up,
yes,
and you go out there and you're expecting not a big crowd on Tuesday night, and it's packed.
I'm telling you,
you're like, whoa!
One of the best nights of my career was in Tempe, Arizona, and it was New Year's weekend, and both my opener and I are like, it's the night before New Year's. Who's going to be there?
Yeah.
Sold out. Okay, fine. But they're going to be terrible. Best crowd of the tour. And I was like, we were like, you ever feel so good it's embarrassing? Like you kind of have to like pretend you're normal. Like, hello. Like we felt so good because our brains were prepping for you sat on your porch and your dad tells you to knock on door feeling. But then we got, you saw some naturally tan
boobs with
jubes.
Nice symmetrical.
I say jubes because they're jiggling, not because they're Jewish boobs.
Jan Cutter.
Jan
God rest her
Cutter,
soul.
dead.
She died.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well,
way to see that just completely turned it around.
Or are we honoring?
We're honoring her and her lovely bosoms. We
It was part of it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Do you like the word bosom?
I don't mind it.
Like,
I don't like bosom buddies. Oh, they're bosom buddies. What are we, nursing on each teat?
What is your...
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Look at these bosom buddies.
What
on each?
What's your favorite word to describe breasts? You're like, she has great breasts, great boobs, tits, bosoms.
Where's Jugs on this list?
Jugs.
You know what I call my wife's?
What?
Chuggers.
Chuggers.
I go, I love your
Nice
chuggers.
chuggers, baby.
I go, but I'll say it in earnest, which is weird. I'll go like, you have the best chuggers in the business.
We have these. We watch horror movie. I have horror movie nights at my house for all my horror movie buddies, and we watch them. And for some reason, we get all giggly and fun when we see boobs. And some old, especially the older horror movies, you see a lot of boobs.
Yeah, the cheapest.
And
special
we're like,
effects
I'm like,
there
oh
is.
my god, this movie just jumped up to a B or whatever. We have but
B
like
cup.
if you see a
No,
boob,
dude, when I was a kid and I'd watch, there was like a college TV station. So kind of like pirate radio, but it was a TV station.
Right.
And they just air movies. And there's certain movies where you can't cut around the nudity. And once I learned this, like it's background nudity. Yeah. Like it's like Tom Hanks, the frat house movie, Party House, I think it's called. Something like that.
Something like that.
Doesn't matter. There's a scene where the cops bust in and there's hundreds of extras. And a lot of them are topless. What are you going to just not show that scene? Continuity!
Yeah.
So guess who's seeing, little standard definition
Slumber
background
Party
boobs.
Massacre. There's
this?
just a scene. It's so random. It's like a shower scene. We're sounding like such pigs, but we're kids. We're watching these, and
these
it's
are
just
childhood
it's just a
pigs.
dolly and
Piglets.
naked butts, and then a girl turns around and it's her boobs, and then she turns back, and now we tilt down, and then we tilt up. We see boobs. We go to the neck, and there's no reason.
They're just, the camera's just checking them out.
This camera operator was hired for a reason.
I picture him. He's got a Hawaiian shirt, nothing underneath. It's open.
Great shot, Mick. Good
mustache,
job.
dark mustache, cigarette always dangling, bald but long in the back. That's who's shooting this movie.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the 80s, it was pervy to have cameras? Do you remember like the feeling? Like picture a guy in a vest filled with film, but he's not working for a newspaper. He's just kind of at the beach. That's just a perv.
Yeah, just a perv. It was
And-
okay to put those pervs in there. Yeah.
Pervs were out. Pervs were just out snapping
Pervy.
telephoto lenses. And I knew this was true because if you read, I liked video production even as a kid. And if you read those, they always had the grossest ads. It was always like, are you a perv? Like, do you want to be pervy?
Jeez, yeah, you're right.
And then now everyone is constantly taking photos all the time everywhere. But in the 80s and 90s, it was just guys with dark, dark mustaches, cigarettes, and a fisherman's
And those
vest.
mustaches are coming back now. You
They
notice
sure
that?
are.
The thing is, I can't grow one. It doesn't look right on me.
Really?
But
I'm
some
looking
guys look
now.
good in a mustache. But you think it's too? Is that a fad? Is it gonna go away again?
When I see these things circling back, I'm just like, there's nothing. We're out. We're out of ideas. Like AI was
Same thing with movies.
computers. Not AI, but computers was saying they crunch the numbers and they're like, music is a finite resource, and you're going to be out of new melodies by a certain year. Like they predicted the year would run out. That's how I feel about fashion. I see kids. I sound like an oldie, but who cares? I see kids these days, and they're dressed like I dressed in 1995. Yeah, the baggy flannel.
I don't like 90s.
You're wearing cargo pants.
Yeah, but I
That's
don't
the
like
same thing.
90s. I don't like the high jeans.
HJs.
That's why I always do that. I was like, ooh, SBs. What's that? Side breasts.
SBs.
I always say the letters like it makes it better. Like,
SSB. Surprise side breast.
well, my friend John, name drop, not John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite, who
which you hooked up. Us up on the show.
Such a funny guy. But like, I kind of got it from him and his friends. But like,
He's in the SMU. Secret Mormon underwear.
Yes, did you
Not
talk
the
to him about that?
Not the MCU. He's in the SMU.
SMU. But like I said, he'll be like, "Oh my god," he'll say things, but he won't swear. He'll be like,
Yes.
"Did you see her?
Did you see her
She totally showed her B's."
Oh,
I'm like, her
man.
boobs?
I saw her a-hole.
I saw her boob. I saw her B's. Did you see her BH? No. She showed her BH and then she showed her PH.
Dude, this is LDS Latter-day Saint dirty talk. Oh, man, your T's are so bouncy. Show me that sweet, sweet A. And if you're real good, show me that P. Oh, I'm gonna J. I'm gonna J.
I'm gonna J-O so M.
I'm J.
And then
Here comes the C.
And then you're saying letters that aren't even bad words. I'm gonna J-O so M. Much?
I'm gonna J so M. You won't say much now?
Now we're just in letters.
ISM!
Or in acronyms.
It's so much, he yelled
gosh.
towards the end.
He does, but now I start to do that. I go, oh, man, that flipping
Yeah.
girl.
Can I say something hot? We're going to get back to you kissing those twins.
Oh, my God, I forgot
Or
about
the
that
sisters. I think it's really funny to say.
Dozers.
You know how my wife is funny? There's certain things.
Yeah.
This is top of the list for me. It's frickin' freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth, is a very surprising, delightful way to say it's cold. For me.
It's freaking freezing
From
in here,
Austin
Miss.
Powers.
What does he say, Mr. What?
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
But you can just say it's frickin' freezing in here. I think it's
frickin'
funny.
freezing
it's
in
frickin'
here.
freezing in here is funnier.
Yeah.
My favorite one, Casey Affleck, Good Will Hunting, for the for the TV edit. The line is, "Keep fucking with me, watch what happens." For the TV edit, they have him doing
with
all.
me?
They go, "No, keep antagonizing me, watch what happens." Guess which one's in the movie? Antagonizing, because that's frickin' funny. That's 50 times.
Antagonizing me.
Keep antagonizing me, watch what happens. In the Boston accent.
I haven't seen that in so long.
GWH.
Do you remember a lot? Good one. Tips. Totally touch our teeth.
Touch your teeth. Oh yeah. Put your F around my T.
Why is your teeth so
Foreskin.
H?
Why is your tip so hot?
No.
Heater?
No.
Heavy?
No.
Ha.
Hard.
Dude, I was miles from getting it. Hard. But I didn't get it. When you're doing that, I was like, veiny? Like I was still way off. When you don't have it, you don't have it. When you don't have it, you don't have it. When you don't have it, you don't have it. Whoa. You've gotten us so many great guests for this show. Jason Alexander.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. Yeah.
He was in.
I love Jason Alexander.
You got us so
got
many
me
great
No,
guests.
you haven't got me any guests.
Sure, I've tried.
You have tried.
I've tried.
You really have tried.
I emailed Chris Evans. You're the only guest. You don't bother Chris
I bet,
Evans.
can you still bother him?
No, I feel bad that I bothered him.
You
once.
only bothered him once?
and he appropriately just kind of let it slide.
He never responded.
I don't like this shots fired tone we're taking. He's Captain America. He cannot reply to my, "Hey, do you want to do my buddy? He's so funny. It's a great podcast." Come on.
Hey, do me a flavor.
Captain America. Chris, I salute you.
Chris, you're great.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, "Fuck you, dude, do my podcast."
The hell, CE?
No, you've gotten us so many guests. That's how hard I
Well,
love
look,
you.
I like you. I think you're super funny and talented, and you're a kind man. And I have no problem
NP?
asking friends.
AF. I know, but you have a lot of cool ass friends, dude.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
We tried to get-
I know a lot of people now from doing the podcast so long, but I wouldn't say I'm friends with everybody. I'm like,
I know
if
what
I
you
saw
mean.
them, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, no.
acquaintances that I like.
I like. Let's upgrade that. I like to think of it as allies,
Sure.
teammates. I got a lot of teammates. I got a lot of friendlies.
Friendlies.
They're not friends. They're friendlies.
They're friendlies.
Chris Evans and I aren't friends, but he's a friendly.
Yeah, like Billy D. Williams. He's a kind man. And you go, oh yeah,
Billy
Michael,
D
good
did
to
the
see-"
podcast?
He just was on it. It went viral. He was an amazing guest. He came over the house. He's 86 years old, and I'm like, did you audition for Star Wars? He goes, no, I didn't. And at the very end, I was geeking out a little bit, but we talked about everything, life, and like
Cold 45.
Yes.
Did you?
I did. He was like, let me tell you. He goes, women, they love me. They would pass out. No, seriously. Women would faint when they saw me.
Billy D?
Oh, yeah. And at the very end of the podcast,
You know what?
I go, will you sign my Lando Calrissian statue? He goes, I'd be happy to.
I'm sorry. CA? Is his agency CAA? Because that's Class Act Action.
He was class act.
Class Act. What surprised you about, what's the dude who plays Reacher's name? We tried to get him on this pod.
Alan Ritchson.
What?
He's really blowing up. He's doing a movie, a Guy Ritchie movie. He's coming out, and like
Okay.
he's doing a lot of stuff.
No, he's great.
He's the sweetest guy.
Here's my question.
I tried.
No, I know. We all tried. The rest of the podcast
But
is
he
just.
also gave me. I emailed his people.
Oh yeah.
Do you have this mic closed?
Katie,
Closer's better.
as unto an ice cream cone. That's too close. Who did it like this? Someone did a whole episode like this.
How about this? In a world
No creature
If we
survived
had headphones
millions
on,
of
would you-
years of evolution
Michael
without
Rosenbaum.
change, without fear, without logic. It is as though God created the devil and gave him jaws. See it before you go swimming.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
Was that the real copy?
That was something like that, yeah. I never left the house as a kid.
I know. I could
I
tell
watched
from being at
movies.
your house. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get to your love of pop culture after you finish the story about the two kisses.
Look, I became friends with this guy, Danny Cutter, whose mom had nice boobs, Jan. And
His late mother.
One time in the summer, we're hanging out, and Julie Montgomery lived up the street, goes, hey, me, Amy Dozer, and Robin Dozer, the twins, are going to this, there's this house that is for sale, and there's no one in there, and we're just going to hang out and drink. And it was like, I wasn't a drinker or whatever. I was a kid. I was like probably 11, 10?
You
maybe?
were 10 when you started the story, yeah.
Maybe 9 or 10, something like that. I remember it was 1980, 81.
It's going down now.
And maybe,
I think I was 8.
but we went to this house, and I remember I was in my swimming trunks still. They were still wet, which was probably good because it blended in with whatever else was wet. And no, I was too young for that. I started puberty late. Anyway, I'm in there, and
You mean a self jizz?
yeah, but I didn't. I was blanks then. I didn't even know what was going on. I had no hair on my balls,
You
so I was like
jaded before
14
you
or
were blowing
15.
jade?
I never jade that at that age.
I never jade blanks.
I never jade until I was probably 15, and then 15
Why?
or 16. I don't know. I didn't start puberty till late, and that's when I started essing L's.
Shooting loads.
Yes, and we're gonna play. It's like $25,000 pyramid.
I'm very good at it.
Are you?
Very good at it.
All right. So we went to this
Alcoholic house.
abandoned house, and we sat in the basement, and one thing led to another. We were playing spin the bottle, and no, it was truth or dare. Sorry, it was truth or dare, and
someone said dare.
They go,
Spin this bottle."
I dare Danny to kiss Amy Dozer, and he kissed her. I dare, and then Danny kissed the other girl, and then I kissed one, and I didn't know what I was doing. I'm telling you, I was just so scared, but H as a R.
Hard as a rock.
Yes, and
He looks to Katie.
Katie's not even listening to this shit anymore.
DLTK. Don't look to Katie.
Don't look at Katie. So I was kissing them, and and then Danny was kissing. End of the night. Fast forward, we're walking up the street back home, and both Dozer twins are holding Danny's hand.
Wait, they were twins?
Yeah, Dozer twins. They were twins. Sorry, they were twins. The Dozer twins, and they were both holding Danny's hands. Both of them, and Julie was there, and I was in the back by myself. And they were like, Danny's such a good kisser. You're such a good kisser. And I was just like, oh my God. That was my first experience. And I remember Julie Montgomery walked back, and she goes, hey, you're good too. You're fine.
Hey, Julie, you're the queen.
But she was kind of
Yeah.
being patronizing or whatever, or like, sort of.
Was she trying to help?
She did. And
sounds like
I
you're
remember
trying to help.
walking home by myself going, I'm such a loser. And that's what I remember of the Dozer twins.
Buddy, I'm going to join you in the shame sauna.
All right.
SS. Don't say SS. There's certain acronyms.
And I was the shortest kid in my school through high school.
What?
But go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Little Rosie. And then I grew after high school.
Little frozen bird.
8 inches after high school.
Yeah, you did.
Whoa. Hang on a second. That hurts my finger.
That's not pleasant. I hated every moment of that tapping. My first, it was at camp. It's funny the games we play to like have these life experiences. You're playing Truth or Dare. My camp was just like, there were a lot of British counselors. I've told the story before. I'll keep it brief. And we found out that French kissing in the British culture was called snogging.
Snogging.
Did you snog her? Oh, you gave her a right snogging, did you?
Is that what they said?
Right after you gave her a shag. First you snog, then you shag, then you be your L.
That's a bit backwards.
L to the chief. No, that's us. Long live the queen. We have L to the chief. They have.
Yes.
Oh, you got it.
Queen is dead. Wait,
Shit.
what?
The queen died?
I think
This is
she
me
did.
finding out.
Yeah.
This is me finding
But
out.
go ahead. Snogging.
So
Snogging?
it just became like a thing. I don't know how these currencies start, but people are like, people are snogging. There's just snogging going around. And here I am, like 11 years old, and I'm like, I'm wet and fucking red. Just red and wet and jiggly and wearing probably like a silken shirt, like a little accountant. And I'm just going around, probably fucking rubber bands on my braces and a weird high and tight haircut, and I'm just fucking goof.
You were nowhere near schnogging.
I'm not schnoggable. Now I'm highly schnoggable.
Yeah.
Get my wife's chuggers in the mix. We're schnogging.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I'm going around.
You asked those C's.
But nice. I was camp cool. So camp was the only place that I got to be cool. Found out snogging was happening. I kind of put it out on the street, or the dirt path, as it were, at this lo-fi camp, that I was down for a snog. I wanted a snog because people were snogging. And Crystal, I still remember her name. She was a little bit older. I'm sitting in the common area. Speaking about watching porn together, I'm just sitting on a couch. And she told me at some point, she's like, I'm going to come up and I'm going to snog you. You won't know when it's coming.
She's cute.
In my mind, she was the most beautiful girl in the world.
Really? Crystal what? Geyser?
I don't know her. Crystal Geyser. Yeah, she owns the water company.
Crystal Geyser.
I mean, she was, the way that I remember her was mysterious, smoky, interesting, and probably shaped my whole, identity in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess I'm hesitating to say this because we are talking about, maybe we were older, like 16, to be honest.
16, that's kind of older.
Yeah. I
And
think
you
we were
hadn't
around
snogged?
16. I hadn't snogged yet.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at remembering what
I was
age
bad at
was.
snogging.
Yeah,
in the
no,
beginning.
this is the point of my story.
Yeah.
You were ashamed that you felt bad at kissing. Crystal comes up, sits on my lap, and I remember she gave out a little, like a growl, and she snogged me. And I didn't know what to do. So I'm just sitting there, and I go, right? I thought that's what snogging was. Get the tongue in there. And then she pulls away, and as she pulls away, she goes, I didn't know you were just going to stick your tongue in my mouth. And she as she was saying, who are you saying that to, Crystal? So I felt shame. BKS, bad kiss, shame.
It could honestly, those things devastate you as a child. Those little things that you're embarrassed by, or like I didn't start puberty late, as I told you, and like sometimes people play basketball and they play shirts or skins, and I go, I'll take the 0. I'm just not going to play. I'm not, because I had no hair in my arms. Remember, Mike Curry was the hairiest kid around. Hair, tons of hair under his arms at like 12.
Wait, you
He's
wanted
like,
hair?
Yeah, he goes, Rosenbaum, why don't you have any hair under your arms? You're 14. I'm like, oh, I'm a swimmer. What? Oh, we shave it. I remember hearing that. And so swimmers shave their bodies. So I just said, oh, I swim. So it's aerodynamics.
I'm dead that you said you prepped. You were like,
swear,
if they shame
I
me.
remember at like 14 or 15, I remember hearing that swimmers, they shave their bodies or whatever. So I go, well, I'm on the I'm looking to be on the swim team. So that's why I shaved hair.
Wow.
Yes.
Can I say shirts versus skins? What is this, Guantanamo Bay?
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, because I'm the chunky stuff. You're the hairless.
And I was puny.
Honestly, can I just
puny
say,
little dude.
the puny hairless community has nothing on the gawky chunk stuff community. We don't recognize your plight. I would have loved to be small and hairless instead of a
Were you that heavy? Were you heavy?
It doesn't. I'm going to tell you a little something about heaviness.
Yeah.
If you're the heaviest, you're that heavy. It doesn't matter.
You were the heaviest.
The heavy just prays that there's another heavy.
Did you cry to
A
yourself?
heavier. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I would honestly pray to God to start puberty. Give me hairs on my arms. Give me something. Give me a bigger wiener.
Wanger.
Something. And then everything worked out.
Big
but
wing?
it took time.
Big wing?
Big wang?
Big wang wanger?
BWs?
Big wing or wanger?
I'm just comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. I don't look at it as I don't
NC, no complaints.
Yeah, I'm not like thimble like.
Okay, so hair. I remember very distinctly playing shirt. Very vivid memory, and I remember it from two perspectives, meaning it's depersonalized, which is weird.
Right.
I'm chunk. I'm sweating in ways that they're not. And there's this little guy, and he's good with the ball. And I get over him, and I put my hand up, and I remember, and then there's like a lava lamp-esque. Oh,
man.
And then the kid was like, I love this kid. He goes, I hate being short, is what he said. And I
Was he the guy in the elevator, droopy dog?
Going down, sir.
Going down.
Yes, floor, sir.
I was just so happy that he saw me as tall first, chunk style second. And I love that kid. Because the whole
It's
game,
amazing how you remember that.
I'm not counting points. I'm just counting how many people are kind of being groovy. And that kid was the groovicious.
Were people kind to you?
In the 90s?
Well, as the heavy kid.
I didn't get it that bad.
That's good. Because you probably can kick somebody's ass. You're a tall guy.
That's what they say about us talls.
How tall were you in high school?
I was about this height, 6'3", 6'4".
How tall were you in going into high school?
Yeah, I think I hit my growth spurt right on classic Norman Rockwell schedule between 8th and 9th grade. Just like,
Oh yeah, nobody wanted to mess with. What are you, 6'4"?
I'm 6'6" now.
Oh, so nobody was going to mess with you.
They say that, but
No,
I'll
nobody's
tell you, from a tall, it just, you know, you watch those movies and there's the like Ant-Man, and he's like,
yes.
That's how I felt. And the little guys are like, and also I just wasn't tough or anything. I do wonder, like, I lived in a bad neighborhood in New York, and I think my height maybe helped me there because people were getting jumped a lot.
Really?
And I remember that was the only time that I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm tall. And I don't want.
Where'd you live? 7th and A?
7th and A, yeah, Alphabet City in the 60s.
I lived on 7th and A though.
You did?
Yeah, when I was trying to be an actor after college, I was living in New York City.
Nice, right near where Gigi Allen used to perform.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. When did you move to New York City?
Right after college. It was 1995.
So you got some hair.
I had puberty.
Hit it.
Still skinny. I had long hair. I had messed up teeth because I had got punched in the face once in high school, and my teeth were a little messed
Time
up.
out.
Yeah.
What happened?
You really want to know?
You got punched in the face and
There was this.
teeth?
Well, I played hockey, but I was short and not a big tough kid. But there was this other kid named, I won't say his name, but he did not like me, and my dad kind of didn't like his father, and his father knew it or whatever, and my dad called him some name or something. And so we're at a basketball game, South Spencer, and I'm with my friend I'm with my friend Pat and CJ, and we're at the game, and all of a sudden I'm behind this kid a little ways, and the kid turns around and goes, "Your dad needs to shut his mouth." And I go, why don't you shut your mouth? I'm trying to watch a game here. And people started laughing.
Oh, you got to laugh.
And then he said
Sometimes
something. He goes, "Yeah,
gets
you
you
want me
in
to kick your ass?" I go, "Well, I remember just going I go, right here in the middle of the game, and I just started blah, 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 little Buddy Hackett over here. And I was just like, I realized, wow, my comebacks are funny. They might not be right now, but they were funny then. And
If you're even trying a comeback back then,
I was
you're
just
doing great.
But that's the only way I could defend myself. And I realized it at a young age. And this guy goes, he goes, I'm gonna kick your ass after the game. I'm gonna kick your ass. And he was a bigger kid. And
What are you putting in your day planner?
yeah, that would have been. Think of the comebacks you could I'm gonna kick your
really?
ass after this. It's
You're gonna
like
set a reminder,
It's
but,
like-
but you betray that you're from the future. You're gonna set a reminder on your iPhone, and
Yeah.
everyone looks at you and you're like, "Oh no, I'm from the future."
all right, I'll set an alarm for my ass so it knows to be kicked by your foot after
There you go. There's
Right.
the '90s.
Yeah, and then we started driving home. Pat was driving, and he goes, "Somebody's tailgating us." He was like tailing us, not tailgating.
Wait, did
tailing
you
us.
forget you had an ass kicking on the
Well,
calendar?
we left a little bit early or something. I remember we left and we didn't think much of it. It was later in the game.
Look,
and all of a
Hollywood Bowl
sudden
beat
he
the
goes,
traffic,
"Oh,
hockey
it's so
game
and
beat the
so.
beating."
It's so and so.
Yeah,
It's Rhodes. Let's just call him Rhodes."
not a Rhodes Scholar, I'm guessing.
Nah, well, anyway, he goes, Pat's like, "What do you want me to do?" And I don't know what got into me. I go, "Pull over in the McDonald's parking lot." I don't know to this day why I did that.
It says billions and billions served and a few fights.
Yeah, and I said, "Pull over." He goes, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, pull over." I'm like that nerd in Dazed and Confused. I'm just going to kick his ass. And then he gets laid out. You remember Adam Goldberg, the actor? Anyway, I love that movie. So we go to McDonald's. We're in the parking lot, and the guy comes out and goes, "Man, you need to learn to shut your mouth, Rosenbaum." And I go, I start mouthing him again, and he's like, I go, all right, are you gonna hit me, or are we gonna like keep talking about this?
How long did you schedule for this meeting?
I was just like going, shut up, blah, blah. I was just trying to stick up for myself and not act like a wimp in front of all these people. And I turned my head to turn to say something, and he just went boom.
Wait, when you turned away?
Yes, he punched me, and I just remember I got a little numb, and there was a little blood, and he came at me, and I just grabbed him so he wouldn't hit me again, and I kind of threw him in, like both of us, into the McDonald's door, and it shattered the McDonald's glass door. And and that's what,
and in a McFlurry of glass,
and a
flying everywhere.
Yes, that's what happened. And all of a sudden, it was like, we were all there, and the manager comes out, and everybody gets in their cars, and I go home, and I've got this. My teeth are kind of like.
Wait. What does the manager say? Don't worry about it.
No, he started to come out, and he's like, and we just took off. And I went home. Typical parents. I go, so-and-so Rhodes punched me in the face. And my dad's like, didn't give a shit. Just was like, oh.
Barely looked down from the Hustler magazine he was casually reading in the living room.
No, he was with my mom. He never paid much attention to me. So I went up to my room, and I put some ice on my face. And the next day I went to school, and I remember in the cafeteria, I walk in, and I had a little bit of a puffy lip, but nothing bad. And Rhodes walks into the cafeteria and sits down at the table, and he's got a cast on his hand. He's got like this.
From punching you?
Yes. So he's injured.
From your steel jaw?
Yes. And I was like, and people at the table started making fun of him. I was like, who won that fight, dude? And they started like, laughing sort of at him. And he was like, a popular kid and everything. And I was just like, oh my God. And later that day, I swear to God, I'll never forget it. It's like out of a movie. It's the end of the period. And I go to the bathroom, and I'm taking a piss. And who walks in the bathroom? No one else is in there. Rhodes. And Rhodes is in there. And he goes up to the urinal. He goes, got to learn to shut your fucking mouth, man.
That's his one line.
Yeah. And I just looked at him and I go, you started it. And we both peed together. And then
the sound of urine.
And then that was it.
You were golden?
I mean, he never went after me again, but like.
We just had someone on the podcast. Do you remember who it was? It was
I'll
like
never
after you
forget
fight,
that.
you're kind of like, you become friends?
No, we weren't friends.
Johnny Knoxville was like, after you would get in a fight.
No, we never friends. I think there was more of like, he never bothered me again. And
well, that's like
it happened.
Version of
it happened
respect.
again. This one kid named Davy Barnes. I used to come out of at a health class and my books, and as I was walking, he'd go boom and hit my books and knock them out. And I remember he did it a couple times. It just fell off my boner from health class. Yeah.
Whoa!
And I remember one time, again, bigger kid, and I just lost it one day. And I think I was thinking about it the whole class. If he does this again, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. And I built myself up.
That's what happens when you establish a pattern. You
Yeah.
keep bullying in the same style.
Yep.
Maybe somebody's going to set a bully trap.
Yeah. And he did it. And I go, motherfucker, you do that one more again. I swear to God, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, man. Don't ever knock my swear. And I screamed at him. He's like, whoa, dude. And laughed and kind of walked. Never bothered me again, though.
I fucking love you.
Never bothered me again. I knew I would get beat up. I wasn't a big kid, but I did stick up for myself,
Can I?
at times.
Here's a pitch.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Take the book on the top. Put thumbtacks through the cover so there's a spiky front, and then let them do it. Let them do it.
Rewind.
Ah! Fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, Barnes.
And you did it to yourself.
F you, DB.
F you.
Davy Barnes.
Davy Barnes is the name. Every name you have used thus
I
far.
gotta use that in one of my scripts, Davy Barnes.
You feel like when did you lose your verge?
I think I was about 18, and I met. Actually, I was 17, and I was in this musical.
Wait, 16.
I was actually 17 towards the end of 17, and I was doing the musical Grease. And this sophomore girl.
Tell me more.
This sophomore girl, she was cute, and we just kind of hit it off. And she goes, "I'm a virgin" or whatever. And she goes, "I haven't had sex." And I go, "Yeah, I haven't either." She goes, "Well,
Wait, the pact."
Yeah, and we eventually had sex. And here's the Hummer.
You put wait, you put it on your calendar.
No, but we just talked about it, and finally at the end of the year, we finally did it.
Where?
In her room. Her brother was in the other room. Her parents were gone, and her brother's in the other room. And I remember it was just like, I just remember being on the floor, and I remember trying to put this condom or rubber, called it, this rubber on.
As the parlance.
And I remember it was hard to get it in. And
your wiener into the condom, or your condom wiener into the vagina?
The wiener into the vagina, the W into the V, and the D into the R first.
Which, sidebar, W, more like double V. Who's drawing it like a Whataburger? It's a double V.
Oh,
a W is the only letter named after another letter. It's a double U.
It's a double
it's
U.
2 U's.
Right.
But no one draws it like a fucking Whataburger.
No, it's
or a Wally World.
Right,
it's a double V.
Yeah, it is.
I say double V when I do the alphabet.
I never even think about W.
Double V, X, Y, and Z. I also call Y a V on a stilt.
You know, I can still remember my linking verbs. There was a teacher that used.
You inviting me to LinkedIn right now, bro?
No, LinkedIn. You know what? I never knew what LinkedIn was. I remember. I thought it was. I swear to God, for the first year, it came up on my emails. It goes, "What's LinkedIn?"
I thought it was LinkedIn.
What's LinkedIn?
I thought it was a lowercase L.
LinkedIn.
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 Why are you inviting me to join your networking tree on LinkedIn?
Yeah, what is that? I still have never been on LinkedIn.
It's Facebook for people in khakis that walk on carpet.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
What was I saying about LinkedIn?
You were losing your virginity with the brother nearby, which I was a little uncomfortable
Oh,
with.
yeah, no. And then we just went at it. And here's the funny thing about that.
It's gotta be terrible.
My buddy, years later, he ends up marrying her. And I'm back in town, and he's like going, "Oh, Rose, you big actor. Oh, yeah, how about this one movie you did? And it was shit." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, Kicking It Old School, man. That was a good one." And I go, "Yeah."
Don't.
You know what I said?
What did you say?
How did I taste?
How did I taste?
Wait, that's not what I said. That wouldn't work. I said something like that. I said, what was? I gotta remember what I said. What was it?
It can't be worse than how did I taste?
No, it wasn't that.
I thought you were just gonna say
that doesn't
I
make
had
sense.
sex with your wife.
No, it was better than that. Hold on, let me think of it. It was
Better the word.
It was like, how are sloppy seconds?
I can't handle that story.
I know.
And what did he say?
And he just goes, "Fuck you, man." And everybody laughed. It was just, we were jokers. I mean, it was nothing to it, but he did marry her.
Jokers.
And I remember
he didn't marry her because he found out about this?
No, he married her. But before that, she was dating someone else, and I came home, and this is only like not that long before, but I hadn't seen her since those moments in school. And I remember she came up to me with her, at the time, boyfriend, husband. She was married before. And she says, This is Michael. This is my first." And he was just so uncomfortable. It wasn't even funny. He was like, "Oh, hey, man." And it was like I was on a show.
I
tried to downplay it all. Like, no, it was so long ago. We were teenagers. We were kids. Yeah. And she's like, "It was good, though." And I'm like, "Oh, God, here we go." It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. I've been in those moments where it's just like, Just like, why are you saying this?
Yeah,
Why are you
who
doing
does that?
Who would do that to
This is my first.
Yeah, don't do that to him.
I also was
I was terrible.
Yeah. I was trying to acknowledge there's so much going on here in that, like, I don't know. I just want to acknowledge with some awareness the idea of male ownership, female sexuality, like used good sloppy seconds, and just say we're not doing that anymore.
Well, it was one of those things where he just was hammering me, and I just felt like,
Yeah.
it was the only thing I'd come. It was bad, but it was awesome. If you know the guy, you would have said that it works.
Everyone would vouch.
It works because
Yeah.
he's like the guy that will make fun of everybody constantly, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, boom, he's like,
You got him,
he
Rose.
shut up.
You got him.
You got, and that's what they said. Rose, they call me Rose.
got
They're
him,
like,
Rose.
like Rose. That was
So
hilarious.
you moved to 7th and A.
7th and A in New York.
And where did you get your, I sound like Jim Neek, where did you get your passion for
Well,
acting?
first of all, I'll
and
tell
the
you-
balls, the courage.
7th and A, I lived in a 1-bedroom. I had bunk beds with my friend Matt, and I remember someone died on our floor.
Oh no.
And I walked in one day. We both walked into the apartment, and then I go, "Oh my God, good Lord, what is that? That smells like sour milk or something. What is that?" And he goes, "Dude, someone died." And sure enough, 4 doors down, this guy had been decaying, rotting 4 doors down.
So close to a
And
band.
and it smelled for months. And I remember we put towels.
Wait, after they got rid of him, I hope.
Yes, but we had towels under the door so it didn't seep in. I mean, it was the worst. And once you smell a dead body, you'll never forget it. It is.
You'll never eat a dead body again, I'll tell you that.
No,
right now.
no. But
Once you smell one?
but we would torture our friends. So like my friend Dave would come over, and he'd buzz in. I go, "Hey, dude, elevator's broken. Got to take the stairs." And then you'd hear him yelling, "Oh my God! What is going on? Who died in here?" 4A down the hallway.
4A died.
And we would do that to everybody who came in, delivery guys, whatever, just so they could.
Please let that guy have been a ghost so he could see you using his aroma.
He would have loved it. But
At least I'm bringing joy.
Have you ever smelled a dead body?
No.
Let me tell you something. You never want to, and when you do, you'll never forget it.
Yeah, it's in your brain now.
It is. If I smell something, I know what that is. If they're like, "Oh, that's an animal," I go,
Yeah.
No.
That's a dead body.
There's a distinct difference between a decaying dead animal carcass and a human.
You're 3 clicks away from being a detective.
Yes, I am.
When I was in Uganda, there was a bathroom that was just a trough, big dugout hole, and then there were holes in the ground, and everyone pooped in it. The hot prank on this trip was to steal someone's camera and take a picture down the hole, which I think I did with my own camera because I remember that soupy nightmare in my film. My apologies to the CBS in Lexington that had to develop that. But I remember everyone was like, "It smells real bad. It smells real bad." And I was like, "Get over it." And I walked in and I almost yacked. Like, there's some smells. You forget. Smell is sort of the king.
I'm a
There are
smell
things
guy
you can
too.
see that are horrible. Is seeing something horrible worse? Because smelling something horrible will make you puke.
You know, I am a breath guy. Like,
How do you tell someone they don't have good breath?
let me tell you something.
How do you tell them,
I
Rosie?
went on a date recently.
Tell them. How do you tell them? I want to know.
And-
I'm going on the record. You meet me and I have bad breath. You tell me. You fucking look at me.
You know
tell
what?
me.
I will, and I do that sometimes. I'll just to my friends. I'll go, "Whoa, dude, you got to get a breath mint. That's fucking."
Yeah.
I do that.
This episode is brought to us by our friends at LMNT. Element. Healthy hydration is not just about water. It's about drinking water and electrolytes. And Element has a 0 sugar way to dial that in. I'm recording this in the morning. I just had my chocolate salt Element, drank it down, jump starts my brain, gets me feeling ready to start my day, feeling hydrated and dialed in. It's the perfect ratio of sodium, magnesium, and potassium. After a workout or after exercise, it absolutely floods your system with everything that you sweat out because it's not just water. It's water, it's salt, and it's these elements. And Element makes drinking water an absolute pleasure. My favorite flavors are chocolate salt. I also love their chocolate chai, which is incredible. Watermelon salt. In fact, you can try all of the flavors if you order Element using our promo code because they will send you, no matter what flavor you pick, they'll send you their variety sample pack. You can try mango chili, which I didn't think I would like. Turns out I absolutely want a spicy mango chili hydrating beverage. Turns out I do. It is awesome. It gives you that optimum ratio for energy to give your body to everything it needs to avoid cramps, low energy, confusion, headaches. It's wonderful and it tastes incredible. They have a fantastic offer for us. Go to drinklmnt.com/weird and use promo code weird to get that free Element sample pack with any order when you order. And if Element doesn't exceed your expectations, they offer a no questions asked refund policy. You don't even have to send it back, so you have nothing to lose. Support your body, support the show. Go to drinklmnt.com/weird and get your free sample pack with any purchase. That's drinkelement.com/weird. We're also brought to us by our friends. Of course, I'm wearing them right now. I literally just changed out of a pair of the Perfect Jean that I was wearing all week, and now I put on a different pair of the Perfect Jean that I'm wearing all week. Guaranteed. I'm always wearing them. If you see me out or on TV or whatever, red carpet, it doesn't matter. I'm always wearing the Perfect Jeans because that's exactly what they are, the Perfect Jeans. Guys, this is a public service announcement. It is urgent. You think you've mastered the look of sweatpants or joggers, you're one step away from pajamas in public. It's not working. Your significant other said you look like a slob. You look like Phil Collins in between recording sessions. You look like Sting. And not in the good way. It's time to show your sexy ass in jeans. Today's sponsor, The Perfect Jean, has uncrushed 350,000 plus men's nuts, and yours are next. These aren't just another pair of stiff cardboard jeans. They are definitely not your pancake butt sweatpants or joggers. The Perfect Jean make great looking, perfect fitting jeans that are stretchy as a kangaroo's pouch and hug your assets in all the right places. The specific denim fabric is soft as a baby's bottom. We promise no babies were harmed. And they are built to last, pulling them down every single day. They will not wear out. In fact, I've rarely, if ever, had to replace a single pair. They are so well built, they are so well fitting, and so perfect looking. They've got 6 fits from skinny to thick, waist sizes from 26 to 50, and lengths from 26 to 38. They got the perfect size for you. Who said size doesn't matter? You get 15% off your first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc or Google The Perfect Jean and use our promo code. It is BabyBuns15 because they are as soft as a baby's buns. Baby's Buns 15 get you 15% off. Go to theperfectjean.nyc. Where am I? Yeah, theperfectjean.nyc and use promo code BabyBuns15 for 15% off. All right, back to the episode.
Here's the thing. There was some guy that I know, but like, it's a weird situation. Like, we know each other, and I saw him at this venue last week, and he walked up to me, and it was jaw-droppingly bad.
JDB.
It was, yeah.
It was JDB, man.
JDP, bro. B. And I wanted to tell him with everything I got, but it smelled so bad that I couldn't get myself. I couldn't say, hey, mate, you should get yourself a breath mint or like a dental appointment. It's not good.
The
man.
second one, get like some certs or maybe see a professional that can scrape that.
You have to take something that kills gingivitis immediately. There's a gas station across the street. Chug some gasoline. Please. That's the worst. And then light it.
Yeah. Spit it out so there's just a residue, then light it. Ugh. You know how it'll just go, it'll burn off, it'll kill whatever's in there.
Nothing worse
than
bad breath or
ding-dong odor. Aubergine.
Or if you have...
or ding-dong. You're just saying genital
DD
aromas.
Or...
Doesn't matter.
V.
OPP.
OPP,
other people's.
Sure.
Is that what that means? Other
you
people,
know what OPP?
I still don't know what it means. You know what OPP?
I think it's other
I'm
people.
45. I don't know what it means. Other people's privates.
Other people's possessions.
Is that what it is?
No, I think it's
other people's
PUSSY.
Oh, other people's pussy.
That would spell. That's the.
But why? What do you mean other people's pussy? Like your own?
What is the alternative? How can I explain it? I take it from a frame. I don't know. But breath to me if I'm out with a girl, I don't care how cool she is, how awesome she is, how beautiful she is, how intelligent she is. If her breath's really bad, it's such a turnoff that sometimes I'll go, okay, maybe it was just this once.
And you go again.
But if it's bad the second time or 2 out of 3.
If on the second date it still smells like number 2, here's what you're picking up on. It's a pheromone thing. I'll give you an example.
That's not a pheromone thing, is it?
Sure is. Yeah, I think it is.
You think some breath people don't notice that other people do?
Yeah. I think all flavors of smells are bad to some and yum to others, for real. Ooh. There are people in my family and they have the Holmes type of bad breath. I'm like, this is like, it's like how dogs pee on everything and they smell it and they go, oh, that's Vern. You know what I mean? Sending pee mail. Sometimes they check the scent folder. Okay. My people in my family, if my brother, for example, has bad breath, which he doesn't, but if he does, if he goes a couple days, I'll smell him and I'll be like, God damn, that's Dad. So it's like it's a mark. It's a primal mammal thing.
I think though there's
wife's
flossing and there's good hygiene and brushing your tongue and brushing religiously and also diet. Like, you know, if you're on the vegetarian diet, there's been some big turnoffs.
No, there's dairy bad breath for sure.
But there's nothing I like more than fresh, crisp, like a Sprite, like a well-carbonated Sprite.
Like a cold Sprite.
Like crisp and refreshing.
I'm sorry, is that your breath or a fucking Sprite?
Oh my God, your breath is like a cold green Sprite.
Is your breath being marketed to the hip-hop community? Because that smells like Sprite.
Oh, it's like a lemon fresh Sprite.
Do you remember when in the 90s they were like, we're taking a swing, and they got crisscross in there, and it fucking worked. Whenever I hear a hip hop song and they say Sprite, I'm like, it worked.
Because I'm the Miggity Mac, Daddy. I'm the Miggity Mac. Can you say that?
I'm the Miggity. I'm the Miggity Mac, Daddy. I can't. I'm the Miggity Mac.
That's what he said.
I'm the Miggity
Mac, Daddy.
I'm the Miggity Mac.
You got it. That's it.
He wasn't as good as you.
Good cross will make you.
Jump.
Yeah.
Other people's privates. I prefer.
Want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
So that band was playing. Remember
KK?
that group? Yep. What are they called?
Crisscross.
The
gentleman in the backwards clothing.
That's what I was going to say. So they wore backwards pants and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
easy to.
I had this
hard
friend.
to
I
pee.
still have a friend. His name is Thomas Gaddis. Now he played on the football team. Now he gets mad at me when I tell the story.
As all the Gaddis boys did.
But,
Go along, Gaddis.
But he hung out with a lot of the black football players.
BFB.
And so he was kind of hip and cool. And he took the S off his first name, Thomas. Now, if you phonetically say or spell the word Thomas without an S, it's Thama. Thama, right? So he named himself Thama instead of Thomas.
To be cooler?
To be cooler, and he would wear
Thama?
He sometimes wore the backwards pants.
I'm supposed to call this person Thama?
Thama.
Thama so fat she jumped in the air and got stuck? You mean that kind of Thama?
Thama. So here it is. So one night he's in the dorm, and this girl's drunk and looking for him. She's drunk, and she starts yelling. It's like 2 a.m. in the football dome. Thama! Thama! The mall! And this big black dude opens the door and looks at him and goes, the mall's closed, bitch. Get out of here.
The mall's closed.
The mall's closed,
The mall.
bitch.
The mall.
The mall.
The mall.
The mall's closed, bitch. Get out of here. That is a true story. And he goes, dude, I didn't do that because it was hip. I said the mall because it's a Greek name.
Oh my God! Shut it! You did it because you're trying to be cool,
yell at me,
man.
but I love the mall. He's good looking, cool dude.
Yeah, I knew a Christopher that went by Tougher, and I didn't care for that.
Oh well, there's
Not Topher.
Topher, but Toffer.
Tougher, and I was like, you mean like you're tougher than me?
Topher kind of a weird thing too, right? I love Topher, but
I'll look the other way on Topher because
but Toffer. Toffer's too like.
Tougher is.
He's like the halfback on the football team.
Tougher also.
Hey, Toffer, come here. Drink this beer.
Tougher at his house had to ride the bike to get the TV to work. And I remember even being a kid being like, wow, your parents are involved. Like they're noticing that you're a little doughy and you care about it. And so they were like, you're going to have to ride the bike to watch the TV. And I was like, wow, you said your dad doesn't, is that why you became a zesty boy? Because of your dad?
What do you mean?
You know, like a razzle dazzle. like a delight, a performer, a showman, a show person.
Listen, my father is.
Did he ignore you just the right amount to make you go like, "I'll show you"?
Yes, a
little daddy.
million percent. A million
I'll
percent.
be Lex Luthor, my Patty.
It has taken. That kind of looks like me when I was Lex Luthor. That picture.
Which one? Gosling?
Is that right? Not the next Steve Martin. This big one on the right.
The pink one?
Yeah, I'm colorblind.
You can't see pink.
I can sort of see pink, but like I didn't want to say. Jesus, that kind of.
This looks like you.
As Lex Luthor. Do you see that?
This is you.
No, but if you look at pictures of Lex Luthor when I played on Smallville, it kind of. I'm glad you took this off the wall to show everybody. But anyway, it just reminded me. I was like, oh my God, that kind of looked like me.
I just wanted everyone to know what we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that.
And also, Canvas places aren't supposed to let you print other people's drawings, but that was back when it was the Wild West.
And who is that?
Who made that?
No, who is on that?
Ryan Gosling.
That's Ryan Gosling?
In the movie Drive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I wish I knew, somebody made that incredible thing, and I was like, that's awesome, and I'm going to print on a canvas. Nowadays, you go on a canvas printing site, and they'll be like, do you own this? And that's how it should be. But this was back when it was new. So they were just like, we're going to look the other way because we want your $20.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, your
my
daddy
father
ignored you. Daddy, do you see me?
Daddy, do you feel me? No. Daddy, do
Well, a hug. So your dad, you came home with a broken jaw, basically, and your dad didn't even care.
My dad was I'm going to sum it up. My brother, we all come from a dysfunctional family, and it's whatever. There's pros and cons. But my brother one night, he's not an actor, he's not a writer. He just wrote everything he remembers about us as a family. And I won't elaborate on who he was talking to at any specific moment, but when he got to me, he said, and then there was Michael. It was like he wasn't there. Nobody paid any attention to him at all. And here's the thing. It made me cry. And here's the thing. I didn't cry because it was true. I cried because someone validated it. Everything that I felt.
Yeah.
It's that he acknowledged something that no one has ever acknowledged in the family.
It was true. But
It
that's
was
not
true.
why you cried. You cried because somebody saw you.
Because somebody saw me. And
Right.
it was weird. I don't know why I got emotional, but it made me emotional. And
I know why.
why?
Deeply to be seen,
Yeah.
to have your pain mirrored
Yeah.
and understood.
Yeah.
a deep human
I
need.
get it. I think I was like sort of a rambunctious. I had ADHD. Nobody knew it. Nobody knew how to deal with me. I didn't know. No one had patience with me. I didn't know I was colorblind until I was in high school. I was in biology class, and Mr. Irwin's like, "Turn to page 127. If you don't see a sailboat and a number 7 in these circles, you're colorblind. Come see me after class." And I go, this girl Dusky Rideout was her name, and I go, Dusky, I don't see anything. She goes, Michael Rosenbaum's colorblind. I go, you bitch.
The mall is closed, bitch.
The mall's closed, bitch.
I'm also colorblind.
Are you?
Yeah.
But
But you have it bad if
no,
you can't
no.
see that.
I can't. No. I
pink.
can't differentiate a lot of colors, so I just choose not to say.
You're talking to one of your brethren.
So
People think
red green.
I get confused with red green. Yeah.
Yes. And what does the traffic light, the bottom light, look to you?
Oh, interesting. The bottom line. Isn't that the green one? That's the green one.
What does it look like to you? Does it look green to you?
Green, blue.
White. It's
White.
100% white.
Wow.
It doesn't look green at all.
When you were a kid, you'd go red light, white light.
Well, no, obviously because people would say, well, what color is the sky? Well, everybody knows the sky's blue. What color are your jeans? Well, most jeans are blue. What color is the grass? Well, everybody knows the grass is green.
I'll give you one.
Oh boy. It's like, go ahead.
You could tell me that this is a very dark red.
No, that's black.
That's correct. You could also tell me that your shirt, which is also black, is a very dark, earthy green.
Well, I know it's black, though.
But I also know it's black. But I can look at it, and if you were like, no, Pete, it's green, I'd just be like, of course it is.
That's what happens to me. People will say,
But then my brain will just go, that's green.
yeah.
And I'll
Or
see it that
sometimes yellow greens or blue greens or red, blue. Sometimes I just can't I can't do it. Like if somebody said the car that hit you, what color was it?
Yeah.
I go, ooh.
To me,
Could have been blue, could have been gray. I don't think it was purple because there weren't purple cars unless Prince was driving.
which he didn't drive himself, did he?
No.
No.
And he's
long dead.
Yes.
Is he long dead or
10
just-
years?
Yeah, that's long dead.
Probably 10 years, I think.
So you were saying people always say to me, are we dispelling some common colorblind misconceptions?
Yeah, well, it's just when I take those tests, if I take any of those tests, I'll go, what do you guys see in there? They're like, a 3. I go, I see absolutely nothing.
Me too.
So many times. I can take tests right now and I'll show you, we'll go through it. Yeah. And you could just see, no, I don't. What do you see? I can kind of make out something there. Is it a 2?
And magic eyes aren't for us. You know those magic eye things?
What are those?
Where a picture emerges, you look at it and move it away from your face slowly.
Oh, yeah.
Those are for the color enabled.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind, baby.
People say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it doesn't really,
But
I wear colorblind glasses. I have
colorblind glasses?
That's my dick. Hold on a second.
Hold on, that's my rock hard dick.
If I was rock hard during your show.
Sometimes, if you're in a different time zone, sometimes you'll get a boner in the middle of the day.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't believe I got hard on Pete Holmes' show.
Dude, you do Pete Holmes' show? Yeah. Were you hard? Yeah.
So
That's his magic. That's his magic.
Yeah, he really.
I'm the only
there's
podcast
something-
where every guest is certified rock hard. The
Certified
whole
rock
show.
hard. Brought to you by Magic Mind.
You could say Vita Coco.
Magic hard.
You keep giving it to Magic Mind. Give it to Modern Mammals.
Yeah.
That's my favorite shampoo. You get to take some.
We know you're over shampoo. Try this stuff and said, is it healthy?
It's like it's a similar in a shampoo healthy. It's not made out of olive oil. Is that what you mean? No, take a bunch.
No, I just want one. I'm going to
You're
come
gonna
back
love it,
over
though.
if
You're
I
gonna
really
love
like.
it.
I'm going to take one, and if I really, all right. Does it help with balding?
No, it's not like that. It just makes it so it looks like you didn't wash your hair, even though you did. It like cleans it. You're giving it back.
No, I'm
You
gonna
just
take
want- Oh, there you
5
go.
of
There you go. There you go. Well, you know. All right. Your dad, you weren't there.
Arms off. Okay, good.
My brother said, this is my version to relate to what you were saying. My brother said, I remember feeling bad for you because you've been putting on a show since you were like
Me too.
9 years
Me too,
old.
putting on a show.
And when he said I felt bad for you, it wasn't just that I knew that I was putting on a show. It's that somebody saw it. So I'm just relating.
You know what's funny about that? This sounds really sad, not to bring the audience down, but I think I hid behind this mask of trying to make people laugh, entertaining them my whole life from a young age, because I knew being me wasn't cool. It wasn't. So I used to have, I call them, like, I guess, surrogate parents, where my friends' parents were kind of my parents. Sometimes I'd stay a week at David Eidelman's house, and his mom would say, "Does your mom care that you're staying here every night?" And I'm like, "No, she doesn't care," and she wouldn't call.
Wow.
I just, sometimes I'd call and say, "I'm staying at David's again." Okay. The Shepherds, the Cutters, the Camachos, I would always be there, and a lot of times the parents, they paid attention to me, and they talked to me, and they thought I was funny.
Yeah.
And
I relate hard.
I just felt like I was kind of a burden in a way. I felt like I wasn't. It felt like maybe I wasn't. People didn't want me to be around without saying. Like one time, my mom said to my father in front of me and my little brother, I was like, "Oh," because my brother's Eric, and she says, she goes, "Come on, Mark. Everybody knows Eric's your favorite." Like right in front of me. I'm like, "I'm right here." Wow. So there was stuff like that, but I think I grew up, and it wasn't until the last X amount of years, whatever, where I looked in the mirror one day, probably 10 years ago or something, and I said, "Have you ever done this?" I looked in the mirror. You've looked in the mirror.
Clearly, I haven't.
Have you ever talked to yourself while looking in the mirror?
Of course.
Have you ever said, "Who the fuck are you?"
No, I say nice things.
Well, at that time, I said, "Who the fuck are you? I don't even know. I don't fucking even know who I am. I don't know who I am." And I felt like, and I talked to my therapist about it, and we figured it out. But it was just hiding behind this persona, hiding behind, just entertain, be loved, be adored, be talented, be this, and just cover all that hurt up. Yeah. And that's how you'll survive. And it is a surviving method.
Of course.
And
by the way, I have done that. I've said bad things to myself. I thought you meant now. I just didn't want you to feel
I try not to do it
shamed.
now. I try to correct myself, and I try to, say my gratitudes and be just grateful for what I have. And
well, what's crazy is in the mirror, it really works the other way to be like, look at you, I'm proud of you. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's embarrassing? This whole fucking thing is embarrassing. You know what I mean?
In this podcast?
Yeah.
Are you embarrassed right now? You've been doing this for a while.
I know you rock hard. I'm semi.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel bad.
Well, it shouldn't, because some people can't get hard.
I tried to do a joke about that. I was like, it's a weird topic, but I was like, I'm glad. One of the reasons it's nice, I don't know how to say it. I was like, I feel for the gay male community because I've lost my erection with a woman, and that's a terrible thing. But imagine losing your erection with another guy, and he has an erection. Oh my God.
Stand there and go, oh.
And you're just like, God damn it. And they're rock hard. It's like a before and after. Let's stay on this. I have a very specific question. When I went to your house, it's a little like a reparenting wonderland.
Yeah, it's almost like Willy Wonka.
Would you care to comment? Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. You got your Indiana Jones.
Well,
you
hang
got
on.
your screening room.
You see, I already go into defense mechanism.
But I'm not attacking you.
But you're not. And that's what I'm just about to say. But you're not attacking
I'm
me.
not. I'm saying, isn't it beautiful that you say to little Rosie, I've got you now. What do you like? You want a movie room? You want Napoleon Dynamite to come over and use acronyms? Do you want to have a podcast where people celebrate you for who you are and love and crave more about who you are? Look, making your wounds useful is one of the keys of life, and you did it. But also I'm seeing, there is a way I could roast you and be like, oh, what are you, Willy Wonka, and your house is full of toys? But I'm like, isn't that beautiful that you're giving yourself
permission?
And what your unconscious, symbolic child self would receive as love.
Yeah.
Like, here's a signed Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
You fucking nuts. What's the opposite of being invisible as a child? Interviewing Lando Calrissian? Would you say that's a pretty good salve?
Yeah.
For this particular type of wound?
Had Keanu Reeves at the house. Whoa. Yeah, man. He looked at my Dracula poster and went, hey, I was in that. And I go, yes, you are. I can't believe I have that there. That's always been there, by the way. And he's like, I remember I gave Francis Ford Coppola mushrooms on his birthday. And I go, good start to the interview.
Kay Reeves did the pod?
He did.
Kay Reeves?
Kay Reeves. We did a movie called Sweet November years ago.
Edit that out.
Huh?
Edit that out.
What?
I'm not here to plug your bullshit.
What?
It was 100% JK. You just said you did a movie called Sweet Whatever, and I said edit that out.
I was like, wait, what?
It's a standard
And by the
riff.
way, nobody knows that movie.
Standard
like,
riff.
But every day I was in drag, and every day I'd go, good morning, Cantu.
Cantu?
I called him Cantu, and he goes, hello, how are you today?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Keanu Reeves always revs into what he's saying. Hello.
He did this scene where I'm
Francis, want some mushrooms?
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was playing gay, but carrying
PG?
Charlize Theron naked into a bathroom. And I remember the scene we're walking in, and Keanu's character comes in and goes, Sarah, I know doctors. Fuck! Shit! And the director, Pat O'Connor's like, cut. Keanu, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, no, let's do it again. And action. Sarah, I know doctors. Fuck! Shit! And he punches a wall. And he's like, cut. Keanu, and do you want to take a minute? He goes, no, I got this. Just roll camera. And action. Sarah, I know doctors. Yeah, that was it. That was good. And I remember Charlize and I just went, hi, Charlize. It was just a funny
the
moment.
Smallest difference.
But it was a difference, and I loved his work ethic, and he's really hard on himself, and he was beautiful, and he's wonderful to work with. I have so much video of him and me fucking around.
You and Kay Reeves.
Yeah, me and Kay Reeves.
Did you, not that I want it debunked, but every once in a while you see those posts on Facebook that are like, Keanu Reeves
Is the nicest
gave
man.
his house to his makeup person on The Matrix.
Right.
With all his stuff inside, including his passports.
And his wife.
As a thank you.
Yes.
And like, I want to believe, I read it. Facebook knows I love a good Keanu's the best post. You got to chill.
I got to chill. It was multiplying.
There's another you somewhere?
And I'm losing control. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you?
Don't look to Katie.
Listen to me. I've got the chills. They're multiplying. And I'm losing control. For the power you're supplying. It's electrifying. You better shape up.
Is this Rocky Horror?
No, it's fucking... You guys should be hammering for this. It's Grease.
Grease? Yeah, I'm not a Grease guy.
I got the chills.
Not me.
You never liked Grease?
Cut to me in the audience. No chills.
You don't like musicals?
No, I like some musicals.
Liar.
I used to be a guy that said I didn't like musicals. I don't like... Actually, I'm going to cut to the conclusion. I'm sort of jealous of people that like got to enjoy... No. People that got to enjoy that sort of stuff. I was raised very cynical and dark. My brother and I would just be like, pfft. So now I have like a jealousy that you love Grease. Val loves Grease. And I'm just sort of like, I feel like I'm out smoking in the back. So I'm really just jealous of people that like that sort of
All
stuff.
right. I think you'd like Grease.
I bet I would. I've heard the new one is great. So where were we? You're reparenting yourself. What?
New one.
There's a new one.
There's not a new Grease.
Oh, that's fucking West Side Story.
Oh, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Katie and I both are like, what the fuck is he done?
All
New
those are the
Grease?
same.
Grease is...
All
All
those
right,
are the
but go ahead,
same.
go ahead.
All those are the same to me. West Side Greasy Story.
Oh,
That's all
God.
it is. Shoobity-doop.
Cynical,
I
cynical.
love this girl. I popped my collar and I rolled my own cigarette while leaning on a Corvette. Uh-oh, I gotta get in a fight on the night I'm supposed to marry her. Tie our hands together with knives. Uh-oh, the barber is shaking his fist and the cop has his billy goat. We're gonna get in a lot of trouble. What if we dance? What if we dance? What if we dance? Jump from a roof to another roof. Comb my hair. The end. Fuck off.
All CPH over here.
Cynical Pete Holmes?
Yes.
Yeah, but really I'm watching you guys having a ball and I'm like, that must be nice. Guys, this episode is brought to us by our friends at Magic Mind. You know, I'm constantly talking about Magic Mind because it is a magical elixir that helps me focus better on my work, be more creative, and drink less coffee, and it can do this for you. I'm always trying to get the guests to do that quick little shot of Magic Mind because it opens you up. It gives you access to your brain, to your creativity, to your focus. It's almost like it's a medium space, meaning the caffeine from the matcha gets you up, but the adaptogens help you calm down. Does that make sense? So it's an up and a down, putting you in that perfect medium creative flow. Don't expect wired or jittery, expect dialed in. Athletes have Gatorade, now creators have Creatorade. You get 30% more done on average. That's 5 to 7 hours of 30% more productivity after drinking. Tastes fantastic, helps fight off procrastination, brain fog, fatigue, and some ADD symptoms, getting you into that flow state. It's basically flow state in a bottle. I absolutely love it. I drink it before every podcast I'm on or hosting. I drink it before every show. You will absolutely love it, and they have a money-back guarantee. Any first purchase will be refunded with no questions asked, so you have nothing to lose. Support your brain, support your creativity, support your flow. Go to magicmind.co/weird and use our discount code WEIRD at checkout for 20% off. For a limited time, 20% off your first order. That's magicmind.co/weird. Use discount code WEIRD to try it, to see what all the buzz is about. Because I'm buzzing. I keep buzzing about it. I love talking about it. We're also brought to us by our friends at LECTRIC e-bikes. Guys, I love our electric e-bike. It gets me back outside. It gets me into a sense of adventure, exploration, and fun. And because I got the +1 seat for Leela, she climbs on there and we cruise. Remember that feeling when you were a kid and you just ride your bike? That was the activity. Electric e-bikes makes riding a bike so fun. That is where I'm back. I feel like I'm 12 years old again, cruising down the road, smelling the smells, seeing the sun, breathing in the fresh air. It is incredible. This spring, get out there with electric e-bike. Enjoy the weather with an amazing variety of models built for riders of all abilities. It's never been easier to fall in love with riding again. Plus, every electric e-bike, it's so cool. Ships in this big box. You open it up, you unfold it. It's practically done. It is the easiest assemble that you can imagine, and it's actually kind of fun. Go to electricebikes.com to discover e-bikes that start at just $7.99 with the XP Lite. Up to 150 miles with one charge on the long range option, which is what I have. Financing as low as $49 a month. You save on gas, you save on parking, tickets, and maintenance. It's incredible. Anyone can ride. We have the Expedition, which is sturdy and versatile. It's a cargo e-bike that can hold up to 450 pounds. Perfect for commuters, families like me and Leela, delivery drivers, and more. Getting started with e-bikes, it's never been easier. Those adventures are waiting for you. It ships free, toolless assembly. Get it. Get into it. Go to electricebikes.com. Go full throttle into spring with electric e-bikes, the #1 selling e-bikes in the nation. Get your adventures started at electricebikes.com, and please mention You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes sent you in the post-checkout survey. That really, really helps us. That's LECTRIC ebikes.com, and tell them this podcast sent you. All right, everybody, back to the show.
Grease is where it all started for me, baby. That was the first play I did, man.
Musical.
Yeah, musical. And I
Who were
remember
you?
that I was Vince Fontaine, kicking the stacks of wax
Vince
here at the House of Wax,
Fontaine?
WAXX, cruising time, 10:46. Sharpshooters pick hit of the week, a brand new one, shoot up the charts like a rocket by the Veldu Rays, going out to Ronnie and Sheila, the new kids down at Mom's School Store, especially to Little Don, whatever.
Miggity Mac.
Miggity Mac. And I remember...
That was incredible.
You know why?
Why?
That changed my life? Because I didn't have the biggest part, but it was a funny part, and the audience, when I heard the laughter and the applause at the end of the show, I had chills.
Yeah.
Multiplying. And after the next day, Chris Pro, the captain of the football team, walks by me and goes, "You were really funny in that play last night," and then walked off, and I go, and that changed my life.
Gasp.
Yeah.
You found your survival technique.
I was
in
like,
high
wow,
school.
not being me is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then you found therapy and stuff. How are you doing?
Took me a long time.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I am. I really am.
Nobody doubted it.
No, but I think it's a process, and I self-sabotage, and I do things that I know I shouldn't do.
Relationships?
Just broader terms, just sort of like, like sometimes I'll start having cigarettes. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I'm like,
You mean, are you taking that as an indication that there's still part of you that thinks you're unworthy of love?
yes. Yeah, sure. It's not, but
I get it.
But it's
hey, you know what it is for me? A whole box of Oreos or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That is
and I
me.
do that too.
Yeah,
Believe it or not. I don't know. I'm lucky that I don't
tab.
metabolism, but like
I got a meflabolism.
I can't I can't just have one bag of popcorn at my house.
Dude, it's not even about the popcorn, right?
I just have to keep eating,
Chasing.
keeping going. What's next? What's next? If it's in front of me,
it's what's next.
But I can't. Well, how do you stop that,
Buddy, one thing I've noticed, the way I know I'm having a binge is I say, how much is enough? And the voice says back very clearly, never. The answer is never. That's how I know I'm in a spiral and I need to stop. I'm going to put this to you. Eating a bag of pistachios. You ever have like pistachios that are flavored?
I don't like them.
All right.
Musicals, pistachios.
Yeah, one of them is a delightful taste on my tongue, and one of them is John Travolta being like, "Oh, geez, I'm going to ask her out, but my Corvette needs new oil, and so does my air."
You better shape up.
Oh, the guys in the red coats and the guys in the blue coats are going to get together, but I'm supposed to be
It is a fun movie.
Oh, maybe my twinkle toes will save the day. Oh, the moon is over the Bronx.
What are you, Marvin Hamlish now? What is this? Jesus Christ.
I also want to go on the record and say I know I'm wrong.
It's fine.
When I'm eating a bag of stash, Crack. You can't grow a stash, remember? Me neither.
Yeah, can't.
If it's a flavored pistachio, meaning some of them have more flavor than others, so it doesn't have to be pistachio.
Right.
You eat one and it's like 10 times the juice. Do you know what I'm talking about, Katie?
Yeah, it's like
What do you?
more flavor.
One of them got more powder or whatever it is.
Right.
And it's this rush. Now I'm just eating looking for that one. I'm like a rat in a fucking
the
cage.
chase.
It's
The
a chase. I'm like, I can't believe I'm not into gambling. I got that brain.
See, I think you know what's funny is like I'm not a drinker, and you know I have a brother that's a big drinker,
Eric?
and yeah.
Who's the favorite now?
How did you remember that? Oh, I think I mentioned his name earlier.
Well, you said remember, so yeah.
Oh yeah, but like, but I don't drink because I don't like how it makes me feel. I just feel like crap after. It's just like, so I rarely drink.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that my vice is like, I need to smoke. I need to eat. I need to, more popcorn, more. When I'm comfortable, and that's when it happens.
Yeah. 2 things for you. Let's see what we can do. 1, when you're eating, blood goes to your stomach, so you're probably thinking less. It's like changing the operating system of your body. Digesting, even overeating, can be preferable to overthinking, that feeling. 2, nicotine. I actually quit. Did I tell you I quit? Yeah, well, we talked about that.
What were you doing? Smoking?
Gum. I just like,
I take Nicorette mints, but only 2 milligram.
Nice. I'm such an addict. I was up to the 6 milligram gum, and I'd have 10 pieces of it a day. That's a lot.
I probably have these 2 milligrams, probably 15 a day.
All right.
But it's only 2 milligrams. But
Well,
still.
I'm glad you're on the nicotine by itself. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that doesn't help you with the smoking. Maybe there's something else going on.
It's been 4 days.
Without a cig?
Yeah, I mean, it's not much, but it's.
Oh, don't break it. That broke my heart a little bit. That's great. Good for you.
But
I was going to say,
but
it
I'm
helps
not a
people
big,
with ADD.
What?
Nicotine helps people with ADD. There's a specific allure because it's a nootropic and it's a stimulant. It helps you focus. So this might be an ADD self-medication issue. Meaning, I'm not asking you to get on Adderall or something. I'm just saying
Right. Well,
what's
I do-
actually
yeah.
happening is maybe I can't say what's actually happening. But when people have ADD and they take something like nicotine, it just kind of pulls them into what they're doing a little bit more.
Yes, and I'm not someone who smokes like 3 or 4 packs a week. If it was like, I might like have a pack and a half a week or something. It wasn't a lot.
Just to keep that VO career going strong.
Yeah, hey, deep down, body thirst, Gatorade
Is that one you did?
is the thirst aid.
Just the voice of a guy who's never gone for a jog
Gatorade it?
Remember the guy?
selling Gatorade? Hey, come into my man den and sit in a beanbag chair. Watch these athletes shoot hoops and drink Gatorade.
I always remember that guy. He's got the greatest voice. He goes,
Brought to you by Gatorade. Gatorade is thirst aid.
Someone made that
SportsCenter.
voice up. Someone made that
Brought
voice
to you
up.
by...
all those guys with the voices. There was this guy, Bob Murphy. I loved him. He was the greatest announcer. You listen to him and you're like, oh, he goes like, a beautiful day for a ball game. Fans filing in off the subway ramps.
Yes.
And then he'd say like, this game brought to you by Toyota. It drives like a dream too.
Wow.
Now it's honeydew season.
You look over, I'm driving a Toyota. That was good.
Now it's honeydew season. Honeydew this and honeydew that. My uncle met him once and he bumped into him and goes, oh my God, Mr. Murphy, I'm a huge fan of yours. You're the best announcer ever. And he looks at me and goes, oh, that is so very kind of you.
I'm dead.
I mean,
Gave him the goods.
oh, I am so
that
very
is so
kind of
very
you.
kind of you.
I mean,
wow.
I wish I had a voice that just resonated like that.
So you self-sabotage by smoking.
By smoking or eating a lot of junk food at
What
night.
about relationally? Because you're like I feel like your mom, but no partner. Oh, you're wondering if you're going to break big news on this podcast right now?
No.
What's her name?
Actually,
Rosie? Here it is, the hot take.
no. I
Double married.
let's just say, I'm dating. I'll have relationships that last.
Yeah, go ahead.
They last, sometimes a year, sometimes 2 years, sometimes they've been 3 years. But
Who's ending these relationships?
unfortunately, I am. Because I'm always
gave you one
but
of
I'm
these.
The thing is, I'm friends with
Your exes?
all my exes. I feel
they
like I
live in
treat them
Texas?
well. I'm not a yeller. I'm giving. I'm loving.
But are you an abrupt, out of nowhere breakupper? No, they know it's coming.
No, I'm not. I'm not abrupt. I'm honest to a fault.
So they know, hey, this is Rocky.
I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that like I'm not looking to get serious right now. Or I've said, I think I just don't want to be in a relationship right now.
Yeah. That was really good.
but-
I felt like you were breaking up with me, and I respected your honesty.
And it
and
never.
not everybody has to be, by the way.
Right.
I'm just
Well,
kind of
I've
curious
seen.
your
I've
thoughts.
seen a lot of like. Look, my sister's been divorced 4 times.
Oh wow. Okay.
My mom's in her 3rd marriage, although she's been married for like 20 years now. My dad's divorced, but, twice. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you
That's
look
9
you
divorces.
look at the numbers, and it's like 60-something% end in divorce, and then you think it's just. To me, I'm a one and done. I want to meet the one that I'm like, I really want to spend. This is it. I want something to really hit me and go, I can't live without this girl. I can't live without her. I want to be with her. I need to be with her. And I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And so I'm not crying, by the way. I'm just itching my eye.
That's the clip, by the way, and we're going to
That's
cut
it.
out the part where you say,
Yeah,
I'm not
thank
crying,
you.
and we're going to make it slow mo. I just want to find the one. Why can't I find the one? Somebody I
And then it
need.
cuts to you doing the Travolta, making fun of Grease.
Oh, maybe we could solve this with Combs.
He's such a dick.
Combs, roll up the scuff for
All
your
right.
jeans. Okay.
No, but like, look, for me is I want to be in a relationship. I seriously, I want to be with someone. I'm working on myself a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm really trying to, like, I think I stay in things longer than I should now. Where when I was younger, I would just go, oh, I'm out. Like now I'm not out. Now I'm like, hey, let's put this on hold here. Let's think about this. This isn't a reason to let's and when you let things kind of go and aren't abrupt with your decision making,
Yeah.
sometimes you stay in it too long.
Yeah.
So it's both. It's either
Well, both are injustices, aren't they?
right. How many times have you wanted to leave your wife?
0.0.
How many times does she want to leave you?
0.0.
Never.
What? What are you, fucking nuts?
You guys are
and
massively in love.
We talking about Pete and Val right
Yeah.
now?
Pete and Val are perfect. Does she ever get mad at you? Does she ever yell at you?
What? Sorry, are we talking about Pete and Val right now?
Yeah.
No, bro.
You guys are in love as much as in love you could be.
I'll give you an example. I'm trying to think of sometimes on the Friday edition.
I
of
do
this
feel
pod-
like you do love. I mean, I could tell by the way you've talked about her.
I appreciate that, and I'm annoyed with myself that there could be a relationship like that, but we really are very well suited to one another. The way that we have a fight, the danger in Val and I's relationship, and she knows this, we talk about this all the time, is that she won't tell me her feelings if they're inconvenient. So if she is having an issue with me, I have to sort of tease it out of her. But I do.
That's always a problem. Yeah.
That can be a problem, especially if you don't do it.
And then it lingers on, and there's a sense of resentment or something that's building that could have been taken care of right
That's
away.
right. That's why Alan de Botton, we talk about this all the time. He says a very healthy question in relationships is to chills. Is it too cold in here?
No, they were just multiplying.
And then we get out there with dice. Roll the dice in the corner of the bodega.
All right, but what happens with it? So when she does it,
I have to joke about it. I go like, there was a time she was very sad, and I knew that, and then I invited a kid and their parents over, and then while everyone was there, I just went in my office and like did some work. So that's I pulled a boner, right? Like that's a mistake. And later I had to say to her, because I got the sense that it was wrong, but she's not going to yell at me and she's not going to shame me or anything like that. But we have to clear the air. Alan de Botton says the question in a relationship you should ask, it takes a lot of vulnerability, is to say, have I done anything this week, rational or not, that annoyed you? And the key is, it can be irrational. Like, it doesn't have to be like something that was annoying. It can just be like, It hurt your child self. So in that way, I'll say to Val, I'll go like, boy, I was a jackass I invited Eric and Nico over and I knew you were depressed. And I'll know how mad or how much hurt she was by how hard she corrects me. And if she goes, no, you weren't a jackass, I'll know we're good. But if she goes like, no, I'm like, I was a buffoon.
You're fine.
I was a buffoon.
Right.
And then I'll say that, and I'll get it on the record, I was a buffoon, and then I'll apologize. So there takes some finagle.
Yeah, I'm different. I try not to be passive aggressive with
PA?
anything, right? PA. But I'm very like when I call it how I see it.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I'm like, you're so loud right now.
Hilarious.
Can you tune your number down a little bit? I'll just joke like that. I'll say something like that, or
Val has that with me, by the way. She'll go Kool-Aid Man.
yeah,
And that just means I'm being the Kool-Aid Man.
yeah.
And we all know what that means.
Or I'll say, like, be a little nicer. You could be a little nicer.
Yeah,
To be a little so bossy here.
Boop.
You're
getting a little bossy.
A little bossy.
I'm sorry.
But I've had people say that was rude, and I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Was it?
When
I
you
didn't
correct them.
Oh no, about something.
Yeah.
But I like when people kind of correct me. But even if you don't see it, if somebody goes, you're being rude, I go, you could sit there and go one of two ways. You go, what are you talking about? I wasn't being rude. I go, I'm sorry you saw it that way. I didn't mean to be rude.
Yeah.
That could end it in a nice way.
Yeah.
But I'm not combative. I'm not like, I don't want to be combative. I want to, but I think I'm also looking for, who cares?
What?
No, it doesn't matter what I'm looking for. I think what I'm looking for, I'll find when I'm ready for it.
I was curious what you're looking for.
I think, look, there's no perfect person out there. And I'm telling you, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But I want someone who has that, who's smart.
Yeah.
Who I'm really attracted to.
Yeah.
But also has that girly side that like could be kids with me. We could go do stupid things
In your Willy Wonka way.
like in my Willy Wonka way.
You're
and like
looking for
has that
someone-
natural soft way about them.
You want someone whose damage or wound mirrors yours. I'm putting words in your mouth, but most people are. Is this okay?
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of sweet.
What I'm saying is Val and I growing up religious, Val and I having similar dynamics in our
Yeah.
families, all this sort of stuff. Again, Alan de Botton, I wish I knew how to say it. It's like spelled Alain de Botton. He talks about like when you're on a date and you go, there just wasn't that spark. He's saying what you're actually saying is I didn't see the potential for this person to hurt me in the way that I need to be hurt. Here, I'll unpack that a little bit.
That's effed.
I'm enough like Val's parent that damaged her the most so she can do that work psychologically with me in a safe way. But that makes me interesting to her. The fact that I am a blowhard, that I can be Kool-Aid Man, that I can be that, but I'm also safe. I'm also a person that will say, I was the Kool-Aid Man. I was too much. You're right. That's healing her past traumas. So when we're talking about spark, it's not just sexuality and stuff. It's like, how are our wounds going to reconcile themselves in this relationship? And you could be on a date with somebody who is funny, who is girly, all these things. So when you say, I want them to play with me, you're like, I want someone who was also robbed of their childhood. This is just a guess. I'm not a professional. But when wounds line up, you can heal them together.
It's funny you say that because I've heard so many different things about that where don't go out with someone who is like you. Don't go out with someone. Now, it's different.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to date someone who has the same energy, needs to be the center of attention, this sort of. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But they'll still say that. They'll say, you want somebody who has a good family. You want somebody who had a good childhood. You want somebody who has patience with you. You want somebody who, all the things you didn't get. Those are the things you want in a woman or in a person. And so, if someone doesn't have patience with me, if I think, I said this to an ex-girlfriend once, I said, I think about when I'm playing music and if I do another live show and I get up, and the only person that I'd be really nervous about playing in front of is you.
Me, Pete Holmes?
No, is the proverbial you.
That girl.
Yeah. And it wasn't, it was just like, and I figured out why. And I told her, I said,
I thought you meant me.
Because she said, why? And I said, because I think that if you see me fail, if you see me suck, you'll go away. You'll leave.
Yeah, Rosie, I feel you so hard right now. I feel you being so hard right now. I'm just saying, like, the love that you need is that good, unconditional. I'm going to say this. I've said it a million times. It's not even embarrassing anymore. The first time I said it was embarrassing. I was like, well, my daughter is 5. Well, in 10 years, she'll kind of have an awareness of what her dad does. And I'm like, what if in 10 years I'm not doing anything cool? Right? And my wife goes, you'll be her dad. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And you, it sounds like I'm relating. We both need that sort of like, what are you talking about? You're my person. I don't care if you stunk.
I need a
on
guarantee.
stage. You need someone to, you need something that transcends your persona. In fact, personality comes from persona, which comes from mask. This is what James Finley taught me. And in a relationship, we're finding someone that we can trust to slowly take our masks off and look at each other nakedly and say, I see who you really are and it's okay. And that's a risk for both parties.
That's so scary.
I know. That's why but you're on the, you don't need my encouragement. I'm just saying you're on the right track, knowing that that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Someone who can be compassionate and patient.
Yeah. And why do you think I said those things? Why do you think I said that to this person? Why do you think I said?
You were hoping that they would say, don't be stupid.
Well, no. Well, of course. But like, because I have always felt that. You know, it's like, they always say, oh, be careful when everything's going great and you're doing this and you're doing this. Everybody wants to hang out with you, but wait till you're not. Wait to see who's around when you're not doing well.
I wasn't that cute when I didn't have no loot. Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's your, but when I say wound, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. That's our wound.
Yeah.
If I'm not shiny. And also I would be, in my case, it's derivative of how I look at other people. I'm like, you better be impressive or I'm not going to like you. And where did I learn that? I don't know. And I'm working on that, by the way.
Yeah.
But we just got a new dog. This is going to sound like a tangent. I'm so impressed with this dog and I love him. And we had famously my older dog, I had more issues with that dog. And now I have this like big, impressive, handsome dog. And I'm like, God damn. And I'm like, fuck, I'm so obvious. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not only do I have to be impressive, but my dog has to be impressive. Like, what a joke. Where did I learn this?
I know. Like everything.
We're so hard on ourselves and others.
It's true. It is true. It's funny because I tend to be everyone's cheerleader in a lot of ways. I'm the one who's like, I feel I want to see them succeed. I want to see them. But also, I have that fear that, again, they'll abandon you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till my friend Rob has a girlfriend that he's in love with, and then he won't have any time for me anymore. We won't be having rehearsal anymore. Oh, wait till so-and-so becomes a big... they're going to forget about me. It's happened in my life before. So there's always been that stuff with me, and it's okay because I understand it now. That I go to therapy, being here, hearing your advice, because you've lived it and are living it, and so these are good things to hear because
well, the not aloneness is going to help. I think that's why we're talking about this. But there had to be a certain degree of abandonment from your family, and then even the families, your surrogate families, your friend families, those just kind of by default do kind of fall away.
Oh yeah,
because it's I mean it's just what it is. And then, and you tell me, a lot of times people with abandonment stuff, I won't say issues, will go like, let's just end this because we know that's where it's going anyway. Like, let's just call this. Why draw it out?
Right.
Like, and then also to be the one that ends it. I'm going to punch you in the face before you can punch me at the McDonald's. I bring everything in. at the end.
Yeah, that's good.
No, we're not going to figure it out. It's just beautiful. I think people are going to get a lot of value out of you and your honesty. And people do love you and what you're sharing and what you give. It's really powerful. I loved when I did your podcast.
Yeah, I love it. And you're coming back.
I'll come back anytime. But like, it's really, you've made your wound useful.
I have.
Really
and I
powerful.
never, it's funny. It was the podcast. I think I've told you this. But, at first people are like, you have a good voice. You're an actor. You know people. You can make some money. And I'm like, okay, great. And I started doing a podcast. And then nobody was really listening. And then I was like, what am I doing this for? And then no one's really listening. And then I'm like about to quit. And then something keeps me going. And then one day, I started just being really honest and talking about my life and talking about mental health and dysfunction and anxiety and all these things that I never really talked about. And people started to gravitate towards it because I was being real and I didn't understand it. And then it became something that is just like this family. And it's awesome because I feel like it's a safe zone.
It is.
And it's safe for me. It's safe for the audience. They learn a lot.
Training wheels.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I'm growing up, Pete.
Yeah. But training wheels are good and growing up is good.
Yeah.
But like doing it in this parasocial way, one-sided, was a nice way for people like us. I always say this, and Katie will laugh. It's true. When we started, I was like, I'm not going to talk about my divorce. It's too embarrassing.
Lo and behold, episode 2.
Yeah. I mean, slow gas leak, just more and more and more and more and more. And now we're just like, there's a shorthand. And that was me as an achiever going, you'll only love me if I'm shiny. Going like, well, here's the time I shit my pants. Here's the time I did this. And then the fan base grew. We should all be so lucky to be celebrated for our flaws. And you don't have to be a podcaster.
Isn't that funny?
Person. Yeah.
Isn't that funny what you're saying? I mean, it's almost like you're getting rewarded for being honest.
Yeah.
We are getting rewarded for telling our story, for being direct as we can be.
Yeah.
For talking about things that no one talks about, and it's a beautiful thing. And on top of it, we're receiving love. We're feeling it's cathartic.
Yep.
And
it's mutually beneficial.
I mean, you never wanted to talk about your divorce, and then you sold a show sort of loosely based, and it really kicked everything off in a lot of ways. And you never thought in a million years that would happen. I didn't think that would happen with me, writing stories and talking about my childhood. And the first thing I wrote, I sold, and it was about my childhood. And it was the first thing. And they always say, write what you know.
Right.
Write what you know.
I always think about Kumail when he was coming up. I tried to get you Kumail. You already had him.
Oh, welcome. He's come on twice.
Fucking shit.
And on my face.
Oh, my God.
No.
But when Kumail was coming up, we started together, and he obviously and rightly didn't want to do anything about his life. He didn't want to be known as a Pakistani comedian. So he had very non-tied to as deep whatever his background material. And then his first big break movie, The Big Sick, was all about all the stuff that he didn't want to talk about, not just what happened with his partner, but also arranged marriages and all these cultural things. And there it is.
Movie, yeah.
But there's these aren't just clues to how to make it in podcasting or movies. These are, the universe rewards certain behaviors, and we're drawn in the same way. I can't quite articulate it, but in the same way, we see it in matter, we see it in chemicals, we see it under the microscope. We just see there's a law of something going where if it's, I was just watching this thing about how they're throwing away the time-space model. They're doing all these, throwing protons at things, colliders and all that stuff. And I can't explain it. So please forgive my layman's explanation. But let's say they're in one of those huge proton collider things and science are doing it. And all these experiments presume space-time. And when they do the experiment, it prints out like 350 pages of math. And they're like, Jesus Christ, it would take a supercomputer 7 days running constantly to do this equation. Then they drop space-time. And one of the things that's happening in physics, in certain areas of physics, is that they're saying space-time is unreliable. It's not true. It's not actually what we thought it was. So they're removing space-time from these exams, from these tests. And then the math that comes out is like 3 equations that you could do in your head. And they see this as like these indications, these winks. I heard Rupert Spira talking about this with a scientist. It's like the universe going warmer, warmer. So even mathematically and scientifically, there's these rewards for like, that's right. Keep it simple, keep it lean, keep it small. And we'll give you these little breadcrumbs that let you know you're onto something. Look, it's 3 equations. It was 3,000 equations. Now it's 3 equations. You might be onto something. Maybe space-time isn't what you think it is. Similarly, and I know this might sound like a jump, you're sharing your heart, and then your heart starts to blossom. In the same way that a flower gets sunlight and soil and water, there's equations to everything. And I'm not saying there's a universal theory. I'm just saying there's feedback. There's feedback everywhere you look, which is why the advice I always give people is follow the dream that's following you, because there's feedback. You'll start getting math back that's simpler. Relationally, you'll get math back and you go, I can do this in my head. It's not as complicated. It's elegant. It's lean. It's clean. That's how you know in everything.
By the way, having a good teacher helps. Sure. Simplify things. Sometimes I need simplifying. I remember in high school, I didn't do well. I was all over the place. No one had patience with me. But then a teacher came in as a substitute. And it was literature, English and literature.
Mr. Bergstrom?
No, Mrs. Muller. And her disposition was just so, I just felt like, she's so nice. I want to listen to her. I wish she was my mom. And she starts talking about Romeo and Juliet. That was what we're going to study. And I was scared. I was like, I don't like reading. I don't like. And she made it so interesting. She's like the Capulets, and then there's this family, and then the Montagues, and these 2 families, and she would tell the story. And I get like a B+ that semester, and it's because somebody I just reacted to something. Yeah. I reacted to her being, her personality, her patience,
yeah, for sure.
All these things. And I think that helps. Simplifying things does help, but coming from especially a kid, or even when you're sitting here in layman's terms of talking about someone, making everyone not going over people's heads.
Yeah. Just
talking about the simple things, whether it's love, whether it's mental health, whatever it is. And just being raw and honest, and I think it's attractive. I was attracted to how she was presenting this, what she was talking about, and I wanted to invest in that.
Yeah, I would say that Romeo and Juliet was the excuse for her to transmit something that was way different from the curriculum, and that's what we relate to.
Yeah,
with any teacher and any person and any date, in the same way that you might be picking up on a date. Oh, this person's wound mirrors mine. When you meet someone who's like grounded in, we could say, love or their being, or their self, and they transmit that through the curriculum of Romeo and Juliet, you're picking up on something way more special than just Shakespeare.
And there were those people, I think those people along the way that you need, those people that show interest in you, they believe in you, and there aren't many, and you don't need a lot. I mean, if you have that one person who believes in you, it just can change your life. And there were those people along the way. There's a handful that just gave me enough to keep going.
Have you ever had him on the pod?
No,
because I'd recommend it. I had Mr. Brown on this pod, which was my high school teacher.
I should write that down.
And
I have
Mark
to leave,
Stevick.
by the way.
Yeah, we got to go. Meaning of life, God, dead, over. Do you think when we die it's over?
No, I don't want to think that. I watched your stand-up special and how you talk about nothing.
Yeah,
and it's just I agree with you. Well, what's nothing? Nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
So
And it's out there creating universes.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of it.
I don't know what it is, but there's something inside of me innately that I'm not a religious person. I don't go to temple or church. But I have a tough time with people saying, I am atheist. I don't believe in anything. And I just don't understand that. And I don't know. For me, I just have this feeling. I have this faith, call it faith, that there's something else. And I like to think that. And I don't, it's funny, I don't think that because I want to go to heaven, so I got to believe. It's just something I just feel, and I see it every day in little things. Of course. I go, how is that possible? And there are those little things, those little clues that we're given. Yeah. And so, because my grandmother says, she's been so sad after my grandpa passed, even now after spending a couple of years. And, someone will say, oh, yeah, God or something. I go, you know what? Blanche is going to see Irv again. She's going to. She goes, that's nice, Mikey. I like to believe that too. I'm like, you believe what you want to believe. And, I wish it was
quantifiable.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's it. The lights are out and there's nothing left. Maybe the spirit transcends. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a...
I would say, if I can offer one thing before you have to go, is that your intuition that there's something else, the knowingness that you are, the being that you are, the consciousness that you are, that's the mystery that you're going like, I keep coming back to it. It's what you are. Yeah. You're not, you might be seeing little winks and clues from the universe. I think that's definitely part of the game, but it's that with which you're seeing. In the Upanishads, they say that. It's not that which the eye can see. It's that whereby the eye can see. It's seeing. It's perceiving. It's consciousness. So when people go around going like, I don't know why, but I can't shake that something's going on here, it's because it's you. It's you. Yeah. The spring of, we call it the spring of life. But what is your experience known? That is the secret. That is God. Yeah. God isn't something, we don't look out at God, we look out from God. And God isn't a being, God is being itself. So you're as close to the fucking jackpot as you could be. So no wonder you're going around going like, I don't know. I also will say in defense of our atheist friends, the beautiful atheists that I know, they don't go around going, I don't believe it. They go, I don't see the evidence for it.
But again, you don't see the evidence that there's not.
Right. I exactly.
I mean,
yeah, they can be a little more gentle in it. It's funny.
And I have friends that are atheists that I love to death, but I'm like, how do you just not, in your side of you, not want faith and have faith in something?
Well, I would say that with which you're looking for evidence is the evidence.
Well, not only that, but like, I mean, this has been talked about ad nauseum, but like, I just keep rewinding and I go, well, if, single cell organisms, okay, well, who made those? Okay, and then before that, the Big Bang Theory, and then how'd that happen? And then before that, there was just blackness, right? No, but blackness is something. Mm-hmm. So keep rewinding, keep going. Why? Things just happen for no reason. They just keep happening, and evolution, and it just. I mean, I believe in evolution, in the dryer. But it's just so absurd to also think that way. That we weren't created in a way. That's just how I feel.
Right. I see the potential for arrogance on both sides. I know
exactly.
I know it's God. I know there's no God. It's always in the middle. Somewhere.
It's always in the middle, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Because you know what? If everybody knew there was a God, no killing. I'm going to be perfect, and I don't. You know what I mean? I pray to you, and
Yeah. Where's the juice? It's more fun this way. Alan Watts called it hide and seek. We're playing hide and seek with ourselves.
Yeah.
So let's do some ketamine and we'll call it a day. You got to go. Doctor?
Yes.
Godspeed.
Neck doctor.
Hope you lose your erection by the time you put that gown on.
Hopefully I'll be able to use my RHP as soon as I can.
Rock hard penis.
This has been a treat. I really had fun.
I
I never,
loved it.
by the way, I never talk on podcasts this
I know
long.
you told me, you were like, I
I
don't
was
want
like,
to talk.
don't do more than an hour. I'm boring.
You were a gem.
But we talked almost 2 hours, and I'm like, I love this.
It's always the second hour or two is the best. That's why I tried to talk you out of it. That's why I was like, you just gotta trust me.
I'm glad I got here a tad early.
Yeah, me
just
too.
a few minutes so we
Me
can get
too.
in, and we just got into it.
Well, you're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
And
you really are. I learn a lot
I love
from you.
man, and
I
you're
love
great.
the human being you are.
Yeah,
Keep
same.
being that way.
And say that. That's how we sign off.
Keep it crispy, folks.
You're not balding. You had a great head of hair. I just saw your whole head of hair. It looks great.
Really? That's
Yeah.
a little in the back.
What are you, 60?
That's really Ryan.
I'm just kidding.
That's really Ryan
I said
Gosling.
something nice. Yeah. I said, what are you, 60? You don't expect a little in the back? I'm just kidding. You're not 60.
No, it's happening. I'm taking Propecia. We'll see you then.
Propecia.com/inside of you.
No, I'm not. They're not a sponsor.
Fuck them then.
Yeah. Magic Mind forever.
You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh yeah. You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh yeah. You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh yeah.